Hey there, Cancer. How are you today? I've really got my head all cut off on this. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Anyways, how you doing? My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly tarot reading. This one is going to be for 7/28, so July 28th through July 31st. Okay, Monday through Thursday. I'll be back on Wednesday with bonus readings to get you through your weekend. That is kind of the whole deal. That's really what we got going on here. Okay, so I'm just going to pull cards and see what Spirit wants to bring forward or talk about. This one is going to be for my Cancers. Okay, let's see what you get. Okay, Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. All right, folks, let's see what we got. We're going to start today with the Eight of Cups. Okay, followed by the Eight of Wands. Okay, and then I've got the Queen of Pentacles. So this is your backstory or your recent past going into this reading. Currently, I have you with the Queen of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. In the near future, we are looking at the Six of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Two of Wands. Alrighty, Cancer. Bottom of the deck on this one is actually the Six of Swords. So your undercurrent to this entire reading has something to do with you realizing that your life is like spinning in chaos somewhere deep in the sea, right? And you need to steer this boat, which is your life, off into calmer waters. It's just time. This chaos is wearing on you and wearing on the other people involved, and so that's how I feel about that. That is the undercurrent here. The card at the center of your read is actually the Five of Swords, which means that there's definitely conflict afoot, right? There's conflict around you right now. Conflict inside of you as well, but this feels like there's a fair amount outside of you. People who don't necessarily agree with things that you are saying or doing right now. It's kind of like an added extra something on the side, okay? I feel like you have a home type relationship situation that you're trying to keep a hold of or fix or figure out. That's the main thing you have going on, but you have this other conflict around you. Just people with opinions that don't match up to yours that seem to be like distractions causing you a little extra grief, right? That's where I see you standing right this second. So let's see how these two cards play in. We're going to start with the recent past, which is where I start these. Okay, so let's see. Recent past, it looks like you have the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Wands, and then the Queen of Pentacles. So anytime I have two eights, to me, it's like a karmic cycle. It's just like something you just keep doing over and over, right? Eight of Cups is talking about you walking away from something that no longer serves you. I feel like whatever it was that you walked away from was incredibly difficult for you to leave. And some of you are still quite energetically tied to this thing, even though you're trying to distance yourself. The Eight of Wands is speaking of communication and fast motion, period. So it's like things are coming at you fast. You're having to make decisions fast. You know, there's just not a lot of, you're not being given the luxury of time to mull it over or something. It's like, you know, you have to decide quickly. And that's a little unnerving for anybody, but for a Cancer, it can be even more unnerving, okay? You're just not in that kind of pace usually. Okay, the challenge in this line right here, or your recent past, was the Queen of Pentacles. So your challenge, it would seem to me, is as a divide. Okay, there is part of you that there's a part of you that is happy in one place and a part of you that is happy elsewhere. And trying to reconcile the two and figure out where to be has become a very big issue in your life, it looks like. But the Queen of Pentacles is here because that is the part of you that is happy at home. This is the home part of you. This is where you can relax and be a version of yourself you can't be other places, okay? This is where you actually feel like you belong. But for many of you, it's not where you desire to be, okay? Or, you know, you should be there, but you don't want to be there. It's something along those lines is what I feel like is the struggle you're in, okay? And the struggle is what's causing the karmic cycle. At any rate, this is your recent past. Couldn't change it if we wanted to. It's already happened. But the way it's played out has affected the rest of the reading. Okay? There we go. Now we're in the current. So currently we have the Queen of Cups and the Five of Swords and then the Ace of Swords. So the Queen of Cups is how you're presenting here. Okay? You're presenting as the Queen of Cups, male or female. It's an energy. You are standing in your feminine. You are very intuitive. You're very psychic sometimes. You're very empathetic, you know what I'm saying? You're very nurturing, very loving. A lot of great things, lots of emotion, okay? Lots of emotion. For some of you, that emotion has taken a darker turn lately, so it's become like a tool, you know. The shadow side to the Queen of Cups is definitely somebody who's emotionally manipulative. There could be some of that going on for some of you. Yeah, maybe. With the Five of Swords, this is like we talked about in the beginning, this is conflict. It's like you have enough conflict on your home front right now, and most of that is internal. There's some outside of you, but most of it's internal. But then you have these other pop-up conflicts around you right now where it's like people are just wanting to debate and argue with you. But it is definitely taxing your energy, okay? So the obstacle, or whatever, the challenge in this line, so in your current line, is the Ace of Swords. So there is something here about the truth being a problem, okay, because it's in the challenge position. So I feel like you speaking your truth in some of these instances is the problem, because when you speak your truth, these people want to argue with you, okay, and they're not going to change your mind, so it's almost pointless at any rate. That's, like I said, taxing your energy. There's also something here about possibly what would be considered by many to be little white lies, but I think some of them have taken root and grown over time, and they are now posing a bit of a problem to you, okay? Because the truth usually finds a way to come to the surface, is what I see here. Okay, let's keep moving. What do you have in the near future? Because I'm out of time almost. Near future, you've got Six of Cups, Nine of Cups, and the Two of Wands. Six of Cups is you focused backwards. You know, you've got nostalgia. You're thinking about happier times. You're thinking about people you have a ton of history with. You're thinking about things from the past, okay? That is where you feel you have found your Nine of Cups. It means that when you look backwards, you find times that you feel were your happiest, so that is your wish fulfillment. It's kind of a catch-22, though, because you really can't go backwards, right? You can only build something new that's similar, but you can't go backwards in time. So it's something you have to be mindful of. You definitely feel in the near future like you have found or figured out what it is you want for your wish fulfillment, and it appears to be something from your past that you're trying to revive. With the Two of Wands being the challenge in this situation, it's because you are at a crossroads and you have to make decisions about what path you're going to take towards the rest of your life. And you seem quite stuck when it comes to that. So that's going to have to play itself out, I imagine. I don't think you can just stay stuck there forever. I imagine if you stay stuck there long enough, somebody else will decide for you, but you can't. You have very little recourse then if it's not what you decide you want. The Six of Swords is followed by the Devil and the Knight of Cups. You're obsessed with saving a situation here. Absolutely obsessed with saving something. Like, it's like it's sacred to you when you want to save something. You want something to be safe. So you're trying to make that happen. I don't know. In my head, I'm just wondering if you bothered to ask the person you're trying to keep safe if they wanted you to keep them safe. But that's just a side note. It just popped into my head. Let's see what we get for the days of the week. Let's see how that works out. Okay, come on. All right, Cancer. On Monday, Ace of Cups and the Nine of Swords. So there's some kind of a new opportunity in love, and it's got you quite stressed out. Okay, you're not sure whether or not to take it. Tuesday, I have the Hermit and the King of Pentacles. So you're standing in boss energy, but you're pulling your energy back out of situations right now to try to reassess them. There's something here about you not trusting either the person involved or the situation itself. Something feels off to you, so you're just erring on the side of caution, right? Wednesday, you've got the Knight of Wands and the Death card. I feel like there is some anger involved in the fact that you're having to go through a transformation. I don't think it's one that you are very welcoming to right now. So you're upset about the fact that you're having to go through this transformation. Thursday, I have the Hangman and the Knight of Pentacles. So even though you're upset, you're going to go with it, and then you're saying you're stuck. You know what I'm saying? So I think your mind is going 1,000 miles a minute while you try to make plans about ways to fix things and to have a better future. But there's just not a lot of practical action being put behind the thoughts right now. But it doesn't mean there won't be. It just means right now you're kind of stuck or stagnant, something. Okay, Cancer, that is what I see for this week. No matter what the cards say, go out and make it the best week you possibly can, right? I'll be back on Wednesday with the bonus readings to get you through your weekend. And I'm here every day with the daily energy check-ins. If anybody wants to check those out, they're kind of fun. They're here every morning. Other than that, thanks for everything, you guys. You're awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you.